I felt the call of the past today. I felt nostalgic. Like I really needed to get in there and channel the CBR energy where I went in, I did the old 1-2 on a couple of bad takes and moved on from there. Now, here's the thing with today's video. First off, this is just my opinion. This guy can totally take criticism. He is 500 trillion times more valuable than me. My net worth is probably worth like a couple of sticks of gum and a paperclip on a good day. His is like, oh man, $20 million or more now, I believe, 19 million. So leave Simu Liu alone. If I pronounced his name right, good for me. If I didn't, that sucks. It's a recurring thing on this channel. But Elon Musk purchased Twitter. Now, I'm not like a big Elon fanboy like certain people are where they've really rallied behind this dude, but there's a lot of things that he's said and done that I actually really appreciate. Some things he's said that I don't really agree with, and he has actually helped revolutionize a lot of things, including clean energy and electronic cars and all kinds of other stuff, putting his money where his mouth is, and, you know, I would say pushing human technology forward quite a bit at a loss to him, but also at a great gain. You know, it took a loss to get a gain, and now he is one of the richest people in the entire world. It's always changing, though, so maybe next week it'll be someone else. Here's the thing. Elon Musk just bought Twitter. You know my feelings on Twitter. I use it, but I think it's an absolute cesspool. I always make fun of it, and I mock the professionally offended, always angry people over there. Speaking of which, I thought it was funny the other day, this is a little aside, I was on there and people are still trying to get Chris Pratt fired from Guardians of the Galaxy and other stuff, basically just for being religious, because they think that his church supports bad practices like anti-LGBTQ stuff, even though James Gunn has gone on the record and said it doesn't, and people don't even really know what church he goes to. Hillsong Church has said he doesn't even go there. So basically that's something we talked about in the past that I think is funny, because I think we covered that like a year ago. That is still going on even today on Twitter. That is how much of a shithole the place is. Well, Elon Musk came in and with a small portion of his money, which is more than any of us will ever see in our life, of I believe 42 or 44 billion dollars, and I'm clicking around here like a madman. He decided, yeah, 44 billion. He decided to buy the platform just straight up and, you know, take over it, essentially. There's a lot of professionally offended people, a lot of the same ones who in 2016 said they were going to move to Canada. I feel like it's like that same energy saying like, I'm leaving Twitter, and you check like 12 hours later and their account is still there. It's just performative. And the few that will leave and be back because it's addictive. You can't get enough of it. One person who, you know, kind of put up a stink about this was Simu Liu, and I thought this take was funny. I wanted to talk about it. Again, leave the dude alone. I know he's a celebrity, but we don't target, harass people here. We make fun of opinions and mindsets, not the person. I have nothing against Simu. I thought his movie was fun. I saw Shang-Chi. I don't think I ever reviewed it when I look back on the channel. I was going to, and I guess I didn't. But I thought it was fun. My wife and I saw it. We had a good time, and, you know, I liked his performance in that. And Awkwafina stole the show. By the way, she is like a 10 out of 10. I'm a big Awkwafina fanboy. I will say that. I stan her. But Simu said, was there nothing better to do with $44 billion? Now, here's the thing. I don't want to be the shill for the rich here. You know, I already did the video on Batman about how people say, just give your money away. Something really funny to me about this, though, is that this is a take, right? The give your money away take. This is kind of the same thing. This is what made me think of this video. This is a take that I hear a lot of people say, but only about the people that they don't like. Have you noticed that? That's just something I kind of wanted to ask you in the comments, because you almost never hear someone who is a fan of someone else say this, right? Like, for example, a Tobey Maguire fan would never look at his paycheck from Spider-Man and say, what a complete D-bag. Why didn't he give all that money to charity? Like, all 100% of it. What's wrong with him? Nobody would really look at it and say that if they liked him, but I've noticed that a lot of people who don't like someone, that's one of the first things they go to, right? It ignores the fact that there's a lot of people who do fundraise and do give to charities and do support a lot of stuff behind the scenes. It's ignoring the fact that, yes, even though it did end up making him rich, this man pushed ahead clean technology and energy through the Tesla car models and all this other stuff for a while, kind of at a loss, almost in a way where it was looking like it was going to ruin him for a long time just to progress that tech. It's ignoring that stuff, but it's saying like, I don't like this guy. This guy is a very big free speech advocate, which now is usually equated with alt-right people, right? Like, let's be honest. It just is. And I don't want to make this video overly political, but if you've paid attention at all to who Simu Liu is, he's the opposite of that, right? He's very, very left-leaning. This isn't something I hear him say about people who are very left-leaning, who have a lot of money. Like, for example, himself. This is why I wanted to kind of pick apart this take, because I just think it's really funny. If we look at what Simu Liu was doing years ago, he was really, really poor, and he signed away, I believe, the rights to his likeness for a lot of royalty-free images for like $120 because he needed the money, right? So this guy knows what it's like to not really have money. So I'm not saying he doesn't. But we look at today, and his net worth has skyrocketed all the way to almost $20 million after being in Shang-Chi. Now, while we don't know what actually went into that movie fully, I believe the estimated budget is around 200 million. It might be a little under. I saw 170 to 200 million was the estimate. I do not know if that includes marketing or not. But when I see people ask these questions, like, was there nothing better to do with all this money, right? I first think, well, of course there was, because we're all wasting our time here anyway. Like, it's Twitter, it's garbage. I don't even know if Elon Musk can fix that. You can't throw a couple of Teslas at it and fix it. I wish you could, because it's a place that has a lot of potential for conversation and good stuff. But, it's also like a really big hive mind. There's a lot of mob mentality, almost public digital beatdowns, the cancel culture crap where people are always mad at somebody or something, and kind of project onto it. Of course, there's something better that could be done with this money. But I look at how much money $200 million is from someone like Disney or Marvel. Isn't there something that could have been better done with that money than make Shang-Chi? I don't even mean make something else. I mean, give it to the poor. We're talking about a company, by the way, Disney, where if you want to look into this, it's pretty nuts. They needed to set up during COVID. Now, this is Disney, by the way. Disney. Billions and billions and billions of dollars worth, this company. During COVID, they needed to set up affordable housing, basically homeless shelters, for a lot of the people that worked at the Disney resorts because they were put out of a job by Disney, right? Disney could have afforded to pay the complete way for these people. They could have taken the loss when their parks were shut down. I know they don't have to, but they could have. Wasn't there a better use for their money? The CEOs who were making, billions of dollars essentially, or hundreds of millions of dollars, could have just stopped being paid entirely for that entire stretch of a couple of years and given all that money back. But they didn't. But guess who Simu Liu works for and doesn't really seem to have a problem with how they spend their money, even on him himself? Marvel, Disney. That's who. This is a take that you always hear from people when they don't like the person that they're levying against it. Wasn't there a better way to spend a few $100 million than making Shang-Chi? Wasn't there a better way to spend hundreds of millions of dollars than on CEOs and give it back to the people who help make your bottom line work? Isn't there a better way to spend Simu Liu's money? Why didn't he give away all of his earnings from Shang-Chi? Because it took a tiny Google search to reveal that he bought a $5 million mansion after his success on Shang-Chi. Isn't there a better way to spend your money? Couldn't you live in an apartment? You're just a human being, right? You're just like the rest of us. Why not give that away? It's always the bar is always moving, and it'll always be no, that guy's richer than me. This is something you see a lot with the very pro-socialist movement now on YouTube and other places. It's you'll see people who make millions and millions of dollars, and they'll say they're a socialist, but they don't give away most of their money. If you're a real socialist, shouldn't you put your money where your mouth is and give away most of your money? Now, I'm not saying Simu Liu is a socialist. I'm not saying that at all, because again, I don't want to make this ultra political. It's more just about the hypocrisy of this take that I see from a lot of people. My point is more that when you base your ideology off of giving, which is a good thing when done well, I give to charity. I know Most of my friends give to charity what they can, or give to churches that then provide to the homeless, stuff like that. That's great. But when your base take is off of essentially give away, but you're not willing to do it yourself, why should anyone listen to you? It's something I see a lot, and I see this projection, right? Of like, yeah, I'm rich, but that guy's richer. Look at that jerk. It's like, but you're rich too. Do you know how many people throughout the world would love to be Simu Liu? And they would take all of the baggage that he's talked about before, with, you know, his heritage and all this stuff. They would take all that baggage of discrimination and all of that. The people in Africa who can barely get clean water. Why not fund some of those villages, man? Why not? You know, I'm so sick of this shit. Like this, I know the term used to be virtue signaling. I know that a lot of people don't use that anymore. But this ideal of, look how good I am by look how bad this guy is, but it's always someone that I disagree with. I really don't like this. Like, if you want to live this motto, fine. Like, if you want to be Keanu Reeves, and Keanu's awesome, where you give away just a ton of your money, that's cool. And live, you know, not completely humbly, like he does have stuff, but live smaller than other people. And you put your money where your mouth is and you give back. That's awesome. I'll accept this take then. But until that, like, what are we doing, man? You know, sell the mansion, give it back to the needy. California, where you bought your mansion, by the way, is a massive, what would you say, concentration of homeless people right now who don't have housing, who live in tents by the freeways or in, like, homeless encampments because they can't afford to live anywhere else, because California has forced them out by making all of the land and all of the property and all the houses massive mansions and putting the normal average person out of house and home. You're buying a mansion in a slum and preaching to other people how they should spend their money. I'm really tired of Twitter, man. Like, that's kind of the I guess the moral of the story. It's like, it's one of these places where people are encouraged to have the most hypocritical takes of all time, and they get the reach around digitally for it from other people. It's really garbage. You know, in closing, like I said, I'm not like a huge Elon fanboy. I will be completely honest, and I don't want to get struck off of Twitter for saying this, so I'll say it absolutely respectfully. I think Grimes, you know, Elon's girl, is certainly a 10 out of 10, so he's doing fantastic there. I think he's done great work with clean energy and other stuff, and I hope that we can kind of clean this website up. But the internet is only as good as the people on it, and let's be honest, we all suck, at least most of us, and it'll continue to suck in that way. I hope that things are able to change for the better on a platform like this, because I think it would be good for everybody. But, you know, I don't know. I'm interested to hear what you think. Was there a better way to spend this money? Should we tell people how to spend their money? That's another question I have too. I don't know. It's interesting for me to think about. And please try and keep it civil. The point of this video was not to be like ultra political, like, you know, left good, right bad, or right bad, left good, or oh yeah, I said the same thing twice, or whatever. I'm really tired of hypocrites, you know? And I'm tired of them being celebrated. Have a fantastic day, and as always, everyone, if you haven't already subscribed, please do hit that bell, subscribe for more content, and hit, you know, the subscribe button, of course, not just the bell. Leave a like. I appreciate it. I'm out of things to say. Have a fantastic day. Stay shway.